Luke 9:7-9. Now Herod heard of all that was done by him the 12 apostles preaching in the towns of Galilee, and confirming their doctrine by many mighty miracles, raised the attention and expectation of all men more than ever. For they could not but think it a most extraordinary and marvelous thing, that Christ could not only work miracles himself, but impart the power of working them to others, even to whomsoever he pleased, a thing never heard of in the world before, and which evidently rendered him far superior to all the prophets, and certainly was an amazing and most convincing proof of his being the Messiah. This circumstance, it seems, aggrandized him more than any other thing, and spread his fame so far, that it reached the court of Herod, Tetrarch of Galilee, and occasioned many speculations there. And he, Herod, was perplexed. Greek, delta iota eta pi omicron rho epsilon iota, much perplexed, as the same word is rendered Luke 24:4, and by the Vulgate consternatum esse, to be in a consternation, and elsewhere, stupora, to be amazed, or dismayed. The word, says Grotius, signifies wonder and astonishment, or, according to Doddridge, such a mixture of doubt and fear, as necessarily throws the mind into a very uneasy situation. The sense here seems to be, that the fame of our Lord's miracles, and the diversity of opinions concerning him, so astonished Herod that he knew not what to think or believe concerning him. Because it was said of some and soon after by Herod himself, that John was risen from the dead, he thought he had got clear of John, and should never be more troubled with him, but he now begins to fear he was mistaken, and that either John was come to life again, or that another had arisen in his power and spirit. And of some, it was said, that Elias had appeared, they say appeared, because, as he did not die, he could not rise again, and of others, that one of the old prophets who had been persecuted and slain long since, was risen again to be recompensed for his sufferings by this honor put upon him. It is probable that this conversation at the court of Galilee, concerning Jesus, and Herod's perplexity thereupon, happened soon after the Baptist's death. The murder of him, it seems, was recent. Hence the stings of conscience which that crime occasioned to Herod were bitter, and the rather, that he had committed it in an unguarded hour, contrary to the dictates of his own mind. Hence, in the confusion of his thoughts, he followed the multitude, though a Sadducee, in fancying that John was risen from the dead, and dreaded the punishment of his crime. It may seem strange that any person should have ascribed Christ's miracles to John risen from the dead, who during his lifetime performed no miracle, John 5:41. Perhaps they imagined the power of working miracles was conferred on the Baptist to prove both his resurrection and his innocence, to clothe him with greater authority than formerly, and to render his person inviolable for the future. Herod said, "John have I beheaded, but who is this? Is he carrying on John's work, or is he come to avenge John's death? John baptized, but he does not, John wrought no miracle, but he works many, and therefore appears more formidable than John." Observe, reader, those who oppose God will find themselves more and more embarrassed. And he desired to see him whether he resembled John or not, and if he found it was John, perhaps expecting to effect a reconciliation with him. He might soon have got his doubts resolved, if he would have informed himself, as he easily might, of what thousands knew, that Jesus preached and wrought miracles a great while before John was beheaded, and therefore could not be John risen from the dead. He desired to see him, and why did he not go and see him, or send for him? Probably because he thought it below him to do either the one or the other. He had had enough of John, and cared not for having to do with any more such reprover of sin. He desired to see him, but we do not find that he ever did till he saw him at his bar, and then he and his men of war set him at naught, Luke 23:11. Had he prosecuted his convictions now, and gone to see him, who knows but a happy change might have been wrought in him, but delaying it now, his heart was hardened, and when he did see him, he was as much prejudiced against him as any other.